Hey, Central Minnesota. Today's Thursday, August 10th, and I have your fishing forecast for the weekend all the way through Monday. Today I personally got out fishing for a little bit, not during the optimum times. I think from like 9:30 to 12:30. We found some pike in like 25 feet of water. My wife and I caught 5 or 6 of them, and found some bass in 12 to 17 feet of water. Water temp has dropped some. It's down to like 76 degrees on the lake that I was on, which is pretty significant because last week it was right around 82, 83. So that can change where fish relate to structure or where they're at in the water column. So you just got to go out and do a little more searching to stay on fish as these water temps start to drop a little bit with this rain and this cooler weather that we're having. Right now, the best bite times is still in the morning, the evening, 5:45 to 7:45 a.m., and then 7 to 9 p.m. That's just the last 2 hours of daylight. And there are some minor moon periods to keep an eye on in the middle of the day if you have some cloud cover and some good conditions. So I'll let you know when those are here in a minute. Here we go. So Friday morning, I give it 8 out of 10. We got good cloudy skies, really low pressure, which is always good for fishing. Most of the fish I've been catching right now have really, really full stomachs. So we've had good fishing conditions for the last week or so. So I give it an 8. There is a minor moon period from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. So that can lead right into a nice evening bite. But we're going to have some clearing skies Friday. I got west wind, 10 miles an hour, rising but low pressure, so it's still pretty good. So I give it a 7 out of 10 for Friday evening for here in central Minnesota. Saturday morning, the bite window is going to be pretty short because it's supposed to be almost full sun. So right at sunrise is probably your best bet of putting fish in the boat, especially if you're fishing walleyes and pike and even bass. They're really tucking into the cover right now as it gets sunny out. Not much wind either. We're talking a west wind, 0 to 5 miles an hour. We got low pressure that is rising, which is okay. And we do have a major moon period in the morning, so that gives it a little bit of a better score. So I give Saturday morning a 6 out of 10. Saturday evening, another 6 out of 10. There is a minor moon period, which minors are the best for fishing. Minor moon period ends at 7:30 p.m., which is leading right up into that bite window. So Saturday evening, 6 out of 10. Could be a little better depending on what type of cloud cover we get. Right now, they're forecasting all sun, which is why I give it a 6 out of 10. And all that means is the bite window is going to be much shorter when you have sun. It doesn't mean the fish aren't going to bite necessarily. It's just they're going to feed only at very specific times of day, close to that sunrise and that sunset. So 6 out of 10s for Saturdays. Sunday morning, cloudy skies. I give it a 6 out of 10. We have steady pressure that is average, right at that 29.9, 29.92 is that average pressure mark. So the fishing won't be on fire, but fish are still willing to bite at that pressure. Very light wind, so I'm not giving that a very good score. So I give it a 6 out of 10. They're talking cooler, only like a high of 70, and then rain. So, if it's a light rain, it's nice to be out on the water. If we get a real heavy rain, it might not be, comfortable or fishable. So have to keep an eye on that. If it ends up being just light rain here and there, some of those days turn out to be really good fishing days, especially if that water drops enough. Those fish start moving shallower into those weed edges, and even on top of the weeds if they're feeding. So you just got to look in a different spot. Some of those fish that were out deep may be starting to transition back into or on top of the weeds as this water temperature cools down with the cool rain and temperatures. Sunday evening, there is a minor moon period in the evening, which gives this potential to be, the first time I've seen it, a 10 out of 10 score. But again, it could be a wash. You might not be able to get on the water. We have cloudy skies, west 5 to 10 mile an hour wind. We have pressure dropping and back into the low pressure range below that 29.9, and then that minor moon period right in the last couple hours at daylight. So Sunday evening could have really strong potential to be a 10 out of 10 type day, just depending on how much it actually rains. So we will see. Sunday evenings, something you want to keep an eye out for, because it could be a really, really, really good day. Monday morning, I still get an 8 out of 10. It's going to get really windy Monday during the day, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. But in the morning, they should still be light, 5 to 10 northwest wind. We got low pressure, but it is rising, so it's not perfect, but it's not bad. We do have a major moon period in the morning, so that bumps it up another point. So I give Monday morning an 8 out of 10 just because of those cloudy skies and that major moon period, and then good pressure. Monday evening, another 8 out of 10. That water temp's going to be dropping. So those fish are likely, if they're feeding, are going to end up being shallower or more on top of the cover. We got partly cloudy skies, still a northwest wind at 5 to 10. Rising to average pressure, which is okay. It's not bad. It's just okay. And then that minor moon period. So these moon periods are popping up because we have a new moon coming in. I believe it's on Tuesday. And a new moon and a full moon are very similar with how they affect fish. New moons and full moons are generally have good fishing. You have minor periods in those morning and evening bites. So all next week looks like good as far as the moon. And then we'll take a deeper dive and look at the pressure and wind and cloud cover on our Monday forecast. So thank you again for watching. I hope this puts you on some fish this weekend. Have a great weekend. If you want to see more content, remember, subscribe, follow us at Sport North MN. We did just put a video on last night. My wife and I went night crawler hunting after the rain. You can check that out. But again, Sport North MN. You'll find us on Twitter, Instagram, and then also our YouTube channel. Stay safe. Good luck fishing this weekend.